already happened last year. It's one of our annual events. And in this fall event, you can collect apples and open apple baskets. And in these, you will find some really cool rewards. And we're here to answer all of your questions. So whatever kind of questions you have for the fall event, we're here to answer, or questions for Forge of Empires in general. This is your chance to talk to the people who work on the game. So yeah, hey everybody.
Hey everyone.
Fall event has a couple of really nice mechanics this time, because as you might remember from last year, if you're a very dedicated player, you can solve a bunch of quests in fall event to get apples to open these baskets, but you can also help your neighbors and plant apple trees for them. So you have a chance whenever you help one of your neighbors or friends or guildmates to plant an apple in the city, and or a tree in their city, and then they can collect them, and you can also collect the apples that other people planted in your city. So yeah, you have a lot of fun during this event, and let's see if there are any questions that are coming in. So if we don't see any questions that are coming in, then we can also read some of the questions that we have prepared and collected beforehand.
So Kai, can you tell me, is it possible to upgrade the cider mill to the maximum level during the event?
Oh, we haven't even talked about this because one of the cool new additions to the event is a cool new workshop building, which is called the cider mill. And one of the cool things about the cider mill is that you can actually upgrade it. So you can not only win the cider mill, but also items that help you upgrade the cider mill. And the cider mill can be upgraded up to 3 times. So there are 4 different versions, and the last version is really powerful. And the question was if it's possible to upgrade it during the event to the maximum. And yeah, it is. So if you play a lot and solve all the quests and help your neighbors and collect a lot of apple trees, then you definitely can collect this item up to 3 times and even more to upgrade at least 1 cider mill until the max. But you can even upgrade more cider mills if you want.
All right, guys, make sure to gather your apples.
So maybe some questions are starting to come in. So Anne Scollins, hey, by the way, is asking, why are there so many things missing from the mobile version? Well, we try to keep our mobile app, which totally exists. So we're a browser game that also has a mobile app, which is really cool. We try to keep them up to date as much as possible and have all features that are on the one platform also on the other. So that's something we're looking into with some minor exceptions. But yeah, that's one of our goals, to have both versions as similar as possible in terms of feature completeness.
All right. From Agos Fazio. Hi. We have a question about when you visit someone, do you plant a tree? So the way that works is you have a chance of planting a tree when you give someone a motivate or a polish. Then you have a chance of planting a tree, which will then allow them to collect it and get their apples from that. Thanks for the question.
Yeah. And I guess we can't see the comments on Facebook for some reason. Maybe there's a technical problem, but we can also go through some of the questions that we collected from the community beforehand. So there's one other question: can I also get the cider mill upgrades later if I didn't manage to get the max level this year? And that's something we can't promise yet. So currently the cider mill upgrades are only available in the fall event. So make sure that you play it and get all these upgrades that you need from the fall event. Yeah, because the fall events are an annual thing, as you might know. So you might have the chance to get it again next year. But yeah, if you want to upgrade your cider mill, make sure that you play this year's fall event.
Right.
Oh, now it's working. That's awesome. More questions coming in. So there's one question.
Looks like it's about gifting.
Yeah, it's from Carla. Hi, Carla. And she's asking, will there be a thing to give forge points, diamonds, coins, or productions to team players? So I guess it's about giving them to like people in your guild or to your friends. And gifting is a feature that we have considered in the past a lot, and we're still, I guess, considering some sort of gifting. Obviously, we have to, when we do such a feature, we have to make sure that it's not breaking any sort of game balance. But we really like mechanics where people can help each other and people can support each other in the game. So it might be something that we consider in the future, definitely.
There was a quick question that came by, not related to the fall event, but it's from Mido15. Hi, Mido. You're asking how to connect the game progress on Android to your iPhone. And what you can do there is you can go to settings, you'll be able to register your account there, then use your username and password on iPhone, and you'll log into the same account.
Yeah, it's a cool thing with Forge of Empires because you can play it on the browser, or like on your PC, and on your mobile phones, no matter which platform. You will be able to play with the same account. So you will have your progress and it will be available to you basically everywhere you go. Doesn't matter on device. Yeah. Some more questions. Cropshim is asking, spoiler for new historical events. There will definitely be more historical events. I'm not sure if I should spoil what they are about yet, but I mean, you can figure they're always about certain historic figures, and there are some people that made a big impact on mankind, and these are the ones we generally take for our historic quest lines. Yeah, you can definitely look forward to more of these.
And we hope you also enjoy reading about them and learning about these historical figures as we learn about them as we're making them.
Yeah, it always involves a lot of research about these historical figures, which is also a lot of fun as part of the job. So, let's see. Maybe we can pick up another one of the questions that we collected beforehand. So there's another question that was asked before. Will there be more levels to the cider mill next year? And that's a good question, because sometimes in the past of Forge of Empires we had events where you could upgrade one of your buildings, or you would get an upgraded version of one of your buildings. For example, in Halloween you would be able to get a new version of the graveyard, for example, or I think it's in the winter event where you can upgrade your confectionery. Obviously last year for fall event we had the first cider mill, so like that's where the cider mill comes from. We introduced it last year, and this year we introduced a bunch of new upgrades for this building. So yeah, it's definitely not off the table that next year the fall event could return with maybe even another step after the current cider mill. That's a possibility. Yeah, so Dennis is asking, please say hello in Russian. Russian players welcome you. Well, hello in Russian. I can't speak Russian, I'm sorry.
Our Russian isn't super great, sorry.
No. I know the word Butterbrot, but it's the same as in German, so.
Really?
Yeah, I guess it's a Russian word.
Oh, okay. That doesn't sound very Russian.
But my parents both can speak Russian, and whenever they want to talk about stuff that I'm not supposed to understand, they speak in Russian because I can't follow them. So now, obviously, all these people are asking us if we know any languages, and
I'm actually quite happy because from Fran11MF asks if I know Spanish, or if we know Spanish. I can count to 3. Uno, dos, tres. So I hope that's impressive.
That's super good, man.
It's pretty impressive. I know a lot of languages.
Okay. I don't know how to continue from this point because we basically reached our top game here.
Yes.
So yeah, let's look for some more questions maybe. Another question that was asked beforehand was, why was the neighborhood mechanic removed? And I guess to explain a bit the context of this question, in last year in the fall event we had a mechanic which is a similar mechanic to what we have now, with basically a glass of apple juice that you fill up with apples during the event. But the mechanic last year worked like this, that it counted the apples from your whole neighborhood. So you and your neighbors would, in a collaborative effort, collect apples and make apple juice out of them. And then when a certain threshold was reached, everyone in the neighborhood would be rewarded with a specific item. And for this year, we decided to change this mechanic to a mechanic where only your own apples count toward that goal. And there were actually several reasons for this. Last year, after the fall event ended, we asked players what they liked and didn't like about the event, and one big feedback was some players didn't understand this mechanic. Like, they got sometimes rewards that they didn't even understood where they were coming from, and so we wanted to keep a similar mechanic, but give the players also a bit more control over when they reach these goals, because, as I said, the neighborhood goal could be reached while you're not even in the app or in the game, and that sometimes led to confusion for players. So I hope you like how we changed the mechanic for this year. Please tell us, and please leave your feedback on this as well, because we constantly obviously look at your feedback and make changes based on this, as you see with this mechanic, for example. Yeah. Okay, some more questions are coming in. That's awesome. Thanks for all these questions, guys. I think someone was asking for a dragon portrait.
Yeah, I saw that one too. Maybe I can answer that one. We are trying to, with Forge of Empires, it's generally a realistic game, and that's also the approach we've been taking with the portraits. So we're not going to have the magical purple dragon spewing fire on the portraits, probably. What could happen at some point is if we have a portrait that is dressing up for Halloween, that maybe they have a dragon mask.
Maybe that's a cool idea. Maybe we could do it like this.
we actually have some people wearing masks in some of the new portraits we're working on at the moment, but you'll hear more about those soon, I guess.
Yeah. Michael is asking, hey Michael, by the way, I love the harvest event, but the apple trees are sometimes hard to see. Could you do with making them slightly bigger or have a bright glow to them? So we tried that. Apparently it was not enough, but we increased the size a bit from last year, and we also added some barrels to the graphic, because we figured these trees were really hard to see for colorblind people that have a green-red problem. And so we added some more elements that make them stand out a bit more. Mm-hmm. But if they're still hard to see, please please all write that and give us the feedback, and we will definitely see it, and we can definitely improve it.
There's actually one thing I can add to that. I heard today that there's actually a very small bug on the mobile app, which makes them not glow sometimes. Mm-hmm. That will be fixed in the update we are releasing very, very soon. So if you're having the problem that it's not glowing, that'll be working soon.
Mm-hmm. Oh, some people are writing that we have a problem with sound in the live stream, that it's echoing somehow. So I guess we'll try to solve it somehow. So there are so many questions coming in. That's awesome. It's hard to pick. Yeah?
Maybe I can pick up one?
Sure.
Kazurina Pearson, hi. You said that you love the fall event, but it's pretty long. Yeah, you're right. It is pretty long. But and you asked about how to keep up the stamina during the event. We think you'll be pretty interested in the things that pop up as the daily specials in the fall event. So make sure to check back often and check out what cool prizes are coming up. There's some pretty good stuff in there.
Yeah. So let's see. Some more questions. The sound, please. Yeah, we're trying to fix it, I guess. As we wait for some more questions to pop in, there is another question that we collected before, which is, what's the reasoning behind splitting the questline into 3 smaller ones? So this time we have 3 questlines in the fall event, and they will like happen back to back to back, so consecutive quests. And the reason why we split it to 3 quest lines was because we wanted to give you the chance to win multiple upgrade items, because you can win them in the different quest lines for the cider mill, obviously. And what we generally like is when players have the chance to see what they can win in quest lines quite early. So we use something that we call counter quest for that. That's a quest that's at the bottom, usually at the bottom of your usual quests, or it's a specific separate quest that counts the progress of your event quests that you have solved. And this quest will usually reward you with something really cool. And this time we wanted to give out a lot of cool stuff with the quest, and that's why we figured, oh, let's do that by doing a lot of quest lines that like trigger back to back to back. What we still want to improve is the visibility of the rewards that you can get. For example, if you're in the first quest line still, we would like players to also understand what they can get like in the third quest line. And that's something we're also working on, like to increase the visibility even more for this stuff. So yeah, that's something that also we hope works really well with player motivation. Like if it's smaller quest lines, it's usually nicer for you to solve than like one big quest line, and you might not even know what you get at the end. Yeah. So questions are incoming. That's cool.
Going by pretty fast, actually.
Catherine is writing, she's loving the quest line. This is a great game. Good job. Please work on your moderators though. Okay, we will try to do that. Does she mean does she mean us as moderators of this live?
Maybe she does. Maybe
okay. Robert, you will not be here next time.
Okay.
Oh, whilst I was writing, this game is ruining the relationship. We're sorry.
That's That's not how it's supposed to be.
So apparently we still have sound issues. Sorry guys, we're trying to fix them. So, some more questions. Crooks Crew is asking, when will GBG be available on iPhone? And actually that's a question we get a lot, and it's something that we decided at one point that we won't look into for now. GBG is it's a gameplay feature that allows you to fight with your guild against other guilds, and it's quite a cool feature. You can check it out on the browser version of Forge. But because it's so complex and has such a big playing field, for example, it's really hard and would take a lot of time for us to develop on the mobile version of the game. And that's why we're currently not considering it. But these plans might change in the future, and if they do, we will definitely let you know, because it's something we also get requested a lot from players.
Speaking of something that we get requested a lot, I saw something come by several times now here in the Facebook questions. This last one is from Alberto. Hi, Alberto. It's about enabling building rotation. Do you want to explain that one, Kai?
That's my favorite question. So basically, probably not. So building rotation probably means you can rotate buildings in terms of their how do you say that?
X-axis?
Yeah, something like this. It's something that we decided not to offer because it increases the challenge of actually puzzling around in your city. You have to fit in certain buildings because they have a certain size, and we generally like that, and also because they have certain dimensions. So that's the gameplay side to it, but there's also an art side to it, because all of our buildings are kind of lit from one angle. So it's like the sun is coming from the top right corner, and if we allow players to flip these buildings, then the shadow would suddenly drop in a different direction, which could lead to weird graphical results in some cases. And since we don't want to introduce 2 types of graphics for every building, that's something we are not really considering at the moment. Dennis is writing, thanks for the game, good luck. Thank you. That's really nice. Sound is getting a bit better. That's awesome. So, there is another question that we got before we started this live session, and it is, can I get more cider mills besides the one from the quest line? And the answer is yes. You have to stay tuned, but the cider mill will also appear in the quest in the event window as one of the daily specials. So if you're checking by every day and look at the daily specials, you might find a little surprise during one day.
As a bit of a pro tip, actually, I think you can also even get a second cider mill in the third quest line.
Yeah, that's true. So the plan is that you can get multiple cider mills and also upgrade multiple cider mills. And how many you can upgrade and how many you can build, that depends on your dedication in the event. So very dedicated players might want to have several of these because they're also really powerful. Like that's something that will add some real power to your city. I think I saw a question on Instagram asking about the Hall of Fame, if it will reappear. And I think it might. I can't promise it, but I think it might reappear during the event. So also stay tuned and check out the daily specials. But I'm pretty sure that it will be in there somehow. Yeah. Oh, there's a cool question.
This one?
Yes.
All right. So I think it was...
I think his name was Peter.
Yeah. Hi, Peter. Can players store grey buildings? Well, the answer is currently no, you can't. We've got the store building item, which you can use to store certain buildings, which you might want to do to preserve a reward and hold on to it for some other time. So you remember earning that reward and you still want to have it, but it doesn't fit into your city right now. It might also make your life easier when you're trying to rearrange your city. At the moment, it doesn't let you store great buildings, but that's something we could look into, I guess.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts, Kai?
Yeah, maybe that could be a cool little thing that we give out as a reward. That's true. I think I saw a question from Heath asking if we will add apples to the town hall so that you can collect them every day. And during some events, you're right, you can collect the premium, or like not the premium, but the event resource from your town hall. And it's a way for us to make sure that players have access to the event resource every day. And in case of the fall event, we figured we don't even need that because you can get apples from your neighbors. And if you're in a very dedicated neighborhood or like have a lot of friends that help you, then you will also have the chance to have a lot of apples during the day. So don't look at your town hall, but look around your city for your daily apples.
All right, just looking through to find some more questions. Here's one I like. When will Forge of Empires... It's from Carrie. Hi, Carrie. When will Forge of Empires move away from Flash? That's going to be, depending on your definition of soon, it's going to be soon. We've been working on it for a while now, and we're planning on having fairly concrete news about that early next year. So don't worry, we know that Flash as a technology is getting older, and we've been working on that. We'll solve it, and you'll hear more about that in a few months. Thanks.
Yeah. So sorry guys for the sound. Apparently we still have a few sound problems. We're still trying to solve them. Sorry. So there are some questions asking about the future of the game. Like, what will be the future? Will there be more future ages? And I think it's safe to say that there will obviously be more content to Forge of Empires and even more ages. Like, that's something that works really well for this game, and we don't want to let our endgame players down. We will offer more content for you, obviously, as we always did in the past. Okay.
Right, I just saw one from Bob Humphrey. Why is Firefox not playable? I think there was a bug in the most recent version of Firefox, actually. Can you? It might help if you check if you're on the latest version of Firefox. That will probably help there.
Okay, guys. Thanks for tuning in. That was the last question for today. Yeah, it was a really cool session. Thanks for all your questions and see ya. Goodbye.
See you guys.